students, also keep in mind that if you want to inform the public or a certain action your organization is about to take, you may want to think of issuing a press release instead. So in few cases, students, instead writing a letter to the newspaper editor, you generally prefer to issuing a press release. To issue a press release means just to call the media and just give your just declare what you want to say to the public. And if newspapers consistently ignore your new release, your best choice may be a letter to the editor. So generally in the case when the newspaper is ignoring your news release, then you should write a letter to the editor. Now we will see, a student, how should you actually send, what is the method of sending. Examination, you need not to understand how should you send your letter to the editor, but for real life, for practical life, we should also know that how should you send your letter to the editor of a newspaper. The reality for virtuality every print publication is that they would prefer to get letters and other material by email. So actually the way of sending them your letter, student, is actually through email. Since everything they publish, it's set up on a computer and printed straight from software. As these days the world is computerized and everything is published directly from the computer software. What is being stored there, how has it been programmed. So you just have to send an email. Your letter should be in email form, and that is exactly why we will also learn email writing in a coming time, actually in next lessons. If you send your letter electronically, all they have to do is transfer it directly to the letters page in the software in order to print it. If you are sending online, as it happens these days, everything is done online, is being done online. So actually if you have sent your letter through email, through electronically, through electronically means to say that through online, then the newspapers would not have to struggle hard to print your letter. They will just have to transfer your letter to the letters page in the software, and then from there they would direct able to print it. Then you can still send a postal letter at the present time. Also, if you want, you can send a letter through post office, of course, but some time has to type it into the computer before it can be printed, and so it may not only arrive later than email, but may wait longer after it's received to be printed. So actually when this is not in the fashion right now, if you are sending a letter to the post office, it's an offline thing, and now most majority of the things are online. So your letter might, the first thing that it will reach later after email will reach earlier, and your letter will have to wait for more time to actually get printed. Now student, we will see actually how do you write a letter to the editor. So first you have to do, as you have seen in letter writing, that you have to start your letter with a salutation. And so actually salutation is quite an important thing, because with the correct salutation you almost get 1 mark in the examination. So you have to write to the editor of the Daily Sun. This is the name of the newspaper, Daily Sun, and then the editor. You can also write just to the editor, and if you have the editor's name, however, you should use it to increase the possibilities of your letter being read. So now if you know the name of the editor, then you can also write dear editor, and then the name of the editor. If you know, it would enhance your probability of being printed. And the main thing for a letter writer, actually a student, is actually to grabbing the attention of the reader. Whoever is reading that, you will have to grab the attention of the reader. Only then the reader and many people will read it. If they are interested in that. If they are not interested, then it would be difficult for them even to read. Now student, we will see, explain what the letter is about at the start. What the topic you are writing about the letter, you will have to actually uh, you know explain that topic, the main topic about which you are writing the letter. You will have to mention that even in the at the very beginning of the letter. Throughout your letter, you keep in mind in this rule that be quick. You do not have to stretch anything, just keep up to the point. In formal letters, student, we always need to be up to the point. We cannot stretch the issue. And be concise, and then be quiet. Just being clear, being practical, be short, and just try to write quietly. Do not use aggressive words. Now student, tomorrow we will see further some other rules, and then we will actually try to I will try to show you through a demonstration how generally do we write formal letters. While writing the letter, you cannot waste time, so actually you will have to explain as quickly as possible the issue on which you are writing the letter, and why this issue is important to get printed. Such as don't make the editor or the general public wait to find out what you want to say. Whatever you want to say, you will have to be up to the point to, very quickly. You have to come to the point. You cannot stretch the things that you want to say, and tell them your key point at the beginning. Just be up to the point, be precise, and just just come to the point as quickly as important, and just explain them also why the whole issue about which you are writing is important actually. And then actually, student, give evidence for any praise or criticism. Whatever you are praising and whatever you are criticizing, you will have to give proof for those things also. And then state your opinion about what should be done. And then a student, always keep it brief. There is no time to actually just go into the detailing of the things. You just be up to the point, and just be brief as possible. Generally, brief means in short. Just be up to the point, and then actually sign the letter in the end, as you have seen in the rules also. So now student, I will give you a question actually to write, and then we will actually see how much you can write. And you should use your own imagination, and always keep it in mind, the sentences that you use must be correct grammatically, and you should use appropriate words according to the situation.